Hi, welcome to Fight Me. My name is Jamie Bader. And on today's episode, we're talking about adventures in parenting. Yes, all the fun things related to being a teenager, to kids, to all of our experiences and experiments we've had in raising our kids. And so we hope this adds value to you, that this could be helpful in your journey as well as a parent. So again, thank you so much for listening, and let's go. Welcome to Fight Me.
All right.
And I'm so glad we get a chance to talk today. Today's going to be a fun one because it feels so real.
Okay.
It feels so day to day.
I can't wait to hear.
Yeah, it's
what you got on tap.
Today we're going to talk about adventures in parenting. And the good, the bad, the weird, the like uncharted territory. We both have we have kids.
We both have had parents.
And now we have kids.
Okay.
So we're in that stage of like, okay, how do we navigate our own raising our own humans?
Yep.
And so we have two kids, in case you didn't know, both teenagers.
Sure.
We have a senior in high school and we have a freshman in high school. Our daughter Olivia and our son is Kingston, who we call King.
Yep.
And we have some thoughts on our experiences and our experimentations.
Sure.
far.
I bet we do.
But I want to hear first, we can both share what are some funny or fun things that our parents did for us. Like what were the things that we remember as being notable that our parents did for us growing up?
Okay. Well, I mean, so I was involved in lots and lots of sports, like ever since I was a young age. I should say a lot of sports, but I was in baseball all the time. And then as I got older, I ran cross country and track. And I don't think I ever went to a match or a game, a meet. I never had at least one parent there.
Yeah, there were always at least one person
supporting me there. And that was even in college. There's very, very few college. Now in college races, some of the ones we traveled for did not have them travel quite as far because it was like a long travel distance.
Sure.
But in general, like especially when I was young, they pretty much showed up to everything.
They were there at everything. Okay.
So,
and they saved all the clips too. Like anytime your name was in the paper, everything.
Sure. Yeah.
Like Band-Aids from when you first got hurt.
No, I never had that stuff.
Are you sure? Because I've seen the book before.
I'm sure there's no Band-Aids in there.
This is when Chad hurt his knee for the first time. They take a picture, save the Band-Aid.
Sure.
Your mom was like a real, like she loved to keep track of that.
No, actually, my dad kept all the clippings.
Yeah. Your dad
mom.
kept the clippings. I'm sorry. No, your mom was also very highly
throw him under the bus.
I know. Sorry, Dad. Sorry, Dave. I had that. Well, I think both parents had like your own stashes.
But my dad had kept made the scrapbook.
Yeah, your dad made the scrapbook. Okay. Yes. I'm impressed. I mean, it was really thorough.
There was a picture scrapbooks, but then there was also like a clipping scrapbook.
Okay. And a metal place.
Metal place for medals, like a whole like case. And
very proud
like
dad.
That. Yes.
Yeah. So I love that. I love how involved your parents were in your sports, and mine as well. That actually comes up. But the one thing I want to say, apart from the sports, because they were at almost every game, when my dad was available, because he owned a business, so he had responsibilities, but he did still make it to a lot of my events. I played so many sports, like to the point where I'm like, oh, this is insane. Like I was in every season. There was a main sport for me. Notably, soccer was my biggest one. But the one thing my parents always did really, really well, apart from that, was they always celebrated my birthday well. Like to me, it's such a special day, even to this day, because, and my birthday is coming up soon. Don't forget. It's a special day for me because they really ingrained it in me to be celebrated that day. And I felt celebrated. Like it was just something special for me. And they always did that really well. And they were like, oh, birthday parties, birthday adventures, like gifts. Like it was just a lot of fun for me and like all kinds of good memories around my birthday. And that's why it's left this little bit of a legacy for me that like on my birthday, every year, there's a lot of memories that come back about that. And I also still love to celebrate. Like, why not?
I know you love to celebrate your birthday.
I do.
It's pretty funny. It's actually like usually about 2, but the problem is it's no longer go big on your birthday. It's like you start cashing in like 2 months out. It's like, well, it's my birthday coming up soon.
So what about this? And I will say, like, just to add the little bit of quirkiness, to what my parents did, especially around like the soccer things, because we would go on tournaments and whatnot. In fact, all the parents usually were in this space of.
So it wasn't just your parents.
It wasn't just my parents, but I have a feeling my mom was definitely like one of the ringleader. Yeah, because it usually. So what they would do is we had this old Astro van. It was like maroon and gray with like this huge gray like middle stripe, and so she would back in to like middle field, really close to where like all the players were, and she would open up the back door and like. The big sound system, right? And it came with a car, so it wasn't like an extra one. It wasn't like crazy, but she would.
There wasn't speaker like subwoofers and all that.
But I believe that eventually happened later. Anyway, our soccer team we were named Thunder.
Okay.
And so they would turn on AC/DC Thunderstruck, and the parents had their own like choreographed like movement to it. So.
Sounds scary.
Oh, it was so scary, and it also brought so much energy to the sidelines. And
there you go.
we were a very good team and had a very good record.
Okay.
Ended up being like from that there was another team, but that went a little bit further. But that was where a lot of my core memories were around, like my mom and dad celebrating me, especially in my sports. So that was always a little bit of a quirky thing that they did, but it was fun. Nice. I loved the involvement. I loved it.
Yeah. At the moment you may not have, but
at the moment, I don't even know. I was probably, it was just like
similarly, my mom was like the same way. I definitely remember, being in baseball, and I think there was like a couple of things. Rocky was very big at the time.
Yeah, Rocky.
She would always shout, "I have the tiger," every time I got off the plate, and it was just.
She would shout it?
I'm not boxing. Yes, she would just start shouting, "I have the tiger." And so, and she began carrying my sister's pom-poms with her as well.
Wow.
And her and another mom would sit there and wave them and cheer on and that kind of thing. And so,
proud parents.
It was really embarrassing.
Was
really, it? Yes, very embarrassing. So,
well, I think we probably all, even as listeners,
but she was extremely supportive.
She was. Yeah. She
and so my dad
always,
as well.
Yeah, both of, I would say all four, like all of our parents were just like very proud and very supportive of whatever we wanted to do. I don't think they ever told me no. Like they were at all my, I was in musicals, like swing choir, like they were always there, always supportive, like no matter what. And so now we have our own kids and
we do
our own opportunity to embarrass them as much as possible.
But I don't do that.
Yeah, whatever. Chad, David, you 100% love to embarrass your kids when you have a chance. Don't deny it.
I don't know.
I don't know. Whatever.
I'll neither confirm nor deny those allegations.
The kids will confirm it somehow.
I'm sure they will.
They'll be on this podcast just to make sure that everyone knows that Dad loves that. And so
it's part of being a dad.
I guess it's part of being a dad. It's also part of being a parent, part of being a mom.
Yeah.
Is like there is this stance we have with them, like, oh, we get to have fun. Like our parents kind of did the same thing.
I just feel like my embarrassment factor probably personally is very, very high. You know that about me. It takes a lot to get embarrassed about something.
Oh, it takes a lot for Chad to be embarrassed.
And so
like it's insane. Like, what would have to happen for him to be embarrassed? I don't even know.
But then so like for our kids, they have like a very low embarrassment factor.
Their boiling point for that is like, low.
You're embarrassing me.
Oh yeah, you could literally just be dropping off or something.
Stop.
Yeah, because so this is the thing, and I think you get this like definitely from your parents, but like you love to be involved, very involved in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
We both do, right? But Chad, on the other hand, he'll be the first one to like, he doesn't just want to be involved in like the kids' lives. He wants to be involved in the sprawl of everyone involved with our kids' lives. So like their teachers, their classmates, the classmates' parents, the like administrator, like he knows everyone, and he's not afraid to roll down the window on either side and stop and have a conversation with any of us in the car, with anyone. Yeah. It's great. I mean, it's actually a really great thing. And also it can be like, Chad, why'd you roll down the window? Who are we talking to now? Yeah. What's going on? But everyone knows you.
I think maybe the kids don't get as much as embarrassed as you do.
Maybe because you know what happens?
You definitely get high anxiety as you see the windows rolling down. You're like, who are you saying? What's going on?
Let me paint the picture. Okay, Chad especially loves to do this. He'll be driving. I'll be in the passenger seat. And there'll be someone on my side of the car that he wants to talk to.
Sure.
So like I would consider at that point that window like is mine
it's
to
all
control.
About community though, man.
No, listen, that window is mine to control. Don't roll down my window when you want to talk to someone on my side of the car. So what he'll do is he'll pull up, and I can see, and he'll roll down the window on my side. So my window's now open. I'm exposed. At least that's what it feels like. I don't know who. I don't know who we're going to talk.
Very dramatic.
Does it?
Yes.
Okay, well, it's going to get worse. So, and then people come over, or he pulls up to someone and he has this conversation he wants to have with them. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there like, he just rolled down my window. Now I'm like supposed to talk to this person. I don't know what's going on. And I might not even know them or know them well or remember their name. And so here they are. And so anyway, that being said, that was a little side note. It happens. It happens. But everyone knows Chad. Everyone loves Chad. And
not everybody loves Chad. I'm sure that there are people out there that are not fans of Chad.
Yeah, please comment if you are not fans of Chad. We want to know.
we want to know who you are.
We want to know. This is really important for sure. Okay, so we're specifically getting into parenting kids into teens.
Okay.
Is one of kind of the part of this.
Because we're in the teenage years.
We are. Okay, so like
and
talk to me.
There's one thing that I do want to say before we get into this.
Okay.
And because you know this about me. Because whenever I feel like we talk about parenting, like I don't think that like every single kid is like a cookie cutter. I don't think there's like a right way to do it or a wrong way to do it.
Yep.
And I think that's part of the reasons why we said we're just going to call this like adventures in parenting, because there's not like if you follow this formula, the kids are going to turn out this way.
Sure.
They're human beings at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so they're going to have their own thoughts, their own feelings, and things are going to happen. And so that being said, these are just things I think that we've done, and we're just going to tell you our experiences.
Yes.
And I feel like as many of the things as maybe we talk about, maybe things that we've done, we feel like we've done well. There's probably equally as many things that we have done poorly.
Sure. So, yeah, it's to humanize it. Like
we're not perfect
our experience.
Parents.
No,
I don't want to give that impersonation, impression that we have it all figured out.
No, let's just set the bar real low.
Or that this is how you should be parenting your kids.
Absolutely.
There's no judgment on
no, it's a neutral space, and take what you want, throw away the rest.
I just want to say that first and foremost.
Yeah. Okay.
For myself.
So we're setting the bar low, and we're
not about low, but we're just setting a bar.
How low can we go?
Hey, this is some things maybe to think about.
Yes.
If you're a parent.
Okay.
If you're a parent.
For sure. So now we have teens. Okay. Yep. But not so recently. They were kids.
Yeah.
I guess you would just say like regular, normal kids, like fairly chill, innocent. Were not raging with hormones and trying to figure out life as they grew. Ooh. Yeah. And so they were just like, we were almost heroes.
Sure.
We were totally heroes. We were the best. They loved us. They still love us.
They still love us.
They tell us. We would know because they do tell us that they love us.
Yeah.
So tell me, what have you noticed has been the biggest transition for you as a dad, watching our kids go from kids to teenagers?
Yeah. The fact that they're actually like semi-adulting.
Isn't it weird?
Yes.
They're like mini adults.
The independence factor, I think, is like the biggest thing for me that happens from like the age of childhood into like adolescence.
Mm.
That age range, like, just about those teenage years. I would
Like
say
puberty age.
Puberty age. I mean, and this could happen with kids that are younger, they're 12, 13.
Sure.
But like, some like I feel like it also could extend, you might not see that transition until 15 years old or something
Sure.
like that. So,
Sure.
but like seeing their desire to gain more and more independence from like you as a parent. They're no longer coming to you for every single need. There's no longer
they're going to TikTok or their friends or like videos on YouTube.
Our kids are not on TikTok.
They're not.
Well,
okay, wait, what?
Directly.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll inform you later. I know Kingston has a TikTok account. They both do. I don't think they post.
No.
Anyway, this is all about getting clear on what, like, where our kids are at, like, on social media, because that's also important. Okay. So the independence factor.
Yeah.
Yes. So like they don't always come to us first thing for information.
Correct.
Or maybe they want to experiment with themselves. Like they want to try and figure out like.
Oh, they try to self-solve.
Yes, self-solve, like whatever it is they're going through. And so they won't come to us. And then when it might not work out, then they come to us. They're like, okay, wait, I tried this. It didn't work.
This isn't working.
No, absolutely not. So, okay, so the independence.
Or we noticed, hey, like they're trying to self-solve and this is clearly not working.
Helping. Yeah, this isn't working. And maybe they just don't have the resources or maybe they've just gone at it wrong. But, they've tried at least.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I do too.
I think that's part of growing up. And I think it's important as parents to give kids their space.
Yeah.
Because I think that's like where the learning takes.
Oh, for sure.
Takes root.
Well, and I would say with Olivia specifically, here's a good like thing that happened with like giving her independence is she started to drive this last year.
Mm-hmm.
And Guatemala is pretty well known for its wild drivers. And
they play loose and fast on the road.
Loose and fast on the roads. And so we really had to release that, like we didn't want to, like we wanted her to have her independence in that because she's going to have to learn to drive. She might as well learn to drive here.
My prayer life through the roof.
Our prayer lives, is just the rhythm is like pretty consistent. And so one of the things with that was helping her get her license. She has our old vehicle, which is like a tank, which I love because like
she complains about it.
She complains. No, I don't, because it'll keep her safe regardless. And so we had to give up. It's literally just like, okay, we are now assigning responsibility and independence to you to handle this car. You've been taught. Mm-hmm. So there was this space and time of actually teaching. And also while she was learning to drive was, when she had a couple accidents, they were minor, couple.
Small.
Teaching her what to do, how to handle it. Chad was excellent at that. I turn a little like emotional when accidents happen. We'll laugh because that's another story.
Is there all four limbs there?
I know. Yeah. Well, just you never know who's in the other car, right? So there's always that concern.
Oh, yeah.
But so like passing that torch to her in the driving space, and then we allowed her to take Kingston with her. So she's currently driving her and her brother to and from school. Yeah. So that allowing that independence was really helpful. What else have you been thinking about? Like what comes up for you when you think about them transitioning from kids to teens?
That's good.
Maybe how we speak to them or how we've
definitely the way that we're engaging with them is completely different. I feel like I find myself not that I didn't do this before, but just being more inquisitive.
Yes.
I think the big thing is like when you see them doing something is like instead of like, oh, they're doing it wrong. I think it's really important that you understand maybe why that they made those decisions, kind of like what was their thought process going into that, and not do it in a demeaning way and not come down on them, but just to be curious and say, hey, like, what were you thinking this? Or just to temper it with some grace and say, well, maybe you were thinking this, and this, or whatever. Just don't come down like, I feel like I can be like the most strict person, but I also feel like I can be like the most graceful parent.
Yeah, likely.
And
Yes,
no. I feel like I
for
swing
sure.
I swing on both sides of the spectrum,
Yeah, for
like
sure.
between the two of us. So I
Yeah.
feel like I can come down the harshest sometimes, and I also feel like I can also be like the most graceful. And I think it's ultimately like how much am I triggered by whatever the
Yeah.
problem is.
Yeah. We're triggered by different things with our kids.
Yes, that is, and I think that's important too. Is like in parenting, it's like how is the other half of the parenting
Yeah, like
circle, like
there's
how are they handling it
exactly.
too?
So they're like, let's
I
say
don't
for
think it
homework.
doesn't need to be good cop, bad cop.
No,
But
sometimes sometimes that works.
so sometimes it's like,
Sometimes it
okay,
doesn't. Like
yeah,
it's really just trying to navigate. Okay, like first of all, what happened? Like let's say there was a tension or a breakdown in either like an experiment they had with doing something at school or just life in general. It's like one of us usually there's like this intuitive process where I'm like, okay, who's gonna take control of this space? So one of us will be like, okay, I got this.
yeah,
Or the other one will be like, babe, this is too much. Like this is a hot topic for me. Like, can you walk in there and remain calm? And like, so there'll be sometimes like we understand each other's strengths with
yeah,
these different situations that come up with our kids. And then we'll be like, okay, what's the game plan? How are we going to figure it out? Or if we see something like that needs to be worked on with one of our kids, then it'll be okay. How are we going to approach them? Because our daughter's different than our son.
yeah.
How are we going to support them?
Very different.
Yeah, very different. And so like, how are we going to support them? Again, our daughter needs different support. Our son needs different support. And we both show support differently.
Sure.
So it's really this interplay of like what's wanted and needed in the moment based on the assessment of like what's happening and then executing. So like for our listeners, you might be able to think like if you have children and you're either, married or single, like your strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
And trying to find the resource when let's say there's a weakness in an area that like you can't speak to or you haven't gone there before or it's new, finding resource either in your spouse or like someone who's close to you and your family if you don't have that and asking for help and
Yeah.
looking for ways that you can like, a community can help you raise your child in a sense.
Sure. And I think I discussed this like on another episode. One of the like biggest resources for me has been just talking to other parents.
Oh, for
Kids
sure.
that have like kids that have already like I've seen them like already bring their kids through the teenage years and now they're like entering into adulthood. So
they have all the experience.
And that being said, like, one of the things that I feel like is providing a space or providing an environment. It can be in the home, I think it breeds itself, ends up happening in the home, but like being intentional about having conversations with your kids and being willing to like receive feedback.
Yes.
Like about like how you're parenting.
Yep.
Now we all know that like kids or teens are also going to like, there's like, they could run with it, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that we do need to like be asking them like, hey, how am I parenting you well right now?
Yep.
And also like, where am I also like, where do I need to improve?
Exactly. No, that's super helpful because
not like, I wouldn't frame it like, where am I failing you as a parent, but it's just like, where can I improve?
Sure. They might frame it like that.
They might, yeah. I say they will definitely be willing to point in. And I think your response to that is very, very important. Like if you're going to ask them for that feedback, it's important not to use that as like ammo for
for sure,
whatever.
Yeah,
it's like not to be defensive, but like just understand that hey, maybe and I think that I would even take like what they would say like with a grain of salt, and whether you agree with the feedback or you disagree with that, don't have like an immediate response to it.
Yeah, just like settle down for a second. Like
I would
cool
take
down.
time and process that and say like what about like what they're saying is actually true and what about that is correct. And I would say that for both the things that you're doing well and the things that you can improve upon.
Absolutely.
And we've tried to do that. And so like for specifically, I've tried to like create space where, so coffee is like a big thing for our daughter.
Yeah, she loves going for coffee.
So I love like going out and say, hey, can we just go grab like a cup of coffee together? And a lot of times it's just very lighthearted conversation. But it's also like inevitably during that time, I want to know like during that time, like, hey, like how can I support you, or how can I support you in this season, or how can I support you in XYZ?
Yeah.
Like where am I showing up well? And then, it doesn't have to be those direct questions, but it's ultimately framing it in some way of like, how am I showing up well and how am I showing up poorly as a parent?
Yeah.
And giving your teenager space to be heard.
Yes.
Because as kids, like there's a lot of, like, as they're maturing and going from those kid years to the teenage years, you also see those things of shame. You see those things like where maybe like they are starting to be conscious of like the places that maybe they're insecure about. And it's like, okay, or maybe they didn't have that as a toddler.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, like you want to create an environment like where your kids are able to communicate. And I think ultimately that's what I'm speaking to is fostering an environment of communication.
Yeah. And allowing them to have a space of trust, because there's times where, like, for example, we'd always hoped that our kids would come to us if they did something wrong, or if like their conscience was like heavy, instead of us trying to like find out and be like, what are you doing wrong? Like, blah. And instead it was like, Mom, Dad, can I talk to you? Like, I'm struggling with this, or I did this, or like confession time or whatever. And it is actually such a really special place for them to feel comfortable to come to us with where they felt that they've, maybe didn't hit the mark, or they know they did something wrong, or something's not right in the world, or they're struggling. Like, they've been very open to telling us. Oftentimes they tell us. We don't even find out necessarily from anyone else.
Right.
And I'm really grateful for that, because it allows, like, it shows, in my opinion, that we have created a container with them, like a space with them where they can trust us with the hard information.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not what we'd want for them, but yes, we are willing to work through a solution if it's possible.
Yeah.
Or be with them with the consequences.
Sure.
Like, whatever that looks like.
Yeah. And I think too, like for those of you that even have kids and you're not even at this point yet with going through teenage years, is you can already begin to foster such like an environment just with your kids, like young kids. And ultimately it's going to spill up over into like their teenage years.
Oh, for sure. And
I would think.
I would hope so. And
like I said, I don't want to make blanket statements, but
no, yeah. I mean, because every kid is going to be different. They all have their own fingerprint. They're all different. It's fine. And all the parents are equally different too, in how they want to parent. It's very personal how we parent. But these can be helpful for some people if they want. But like, the one thing I think also was passing more independence to our kids was really honing in on chores. Like, they have a chore list.
They do.
And they're responsible.
It's not extremely difficult.
It's not extreme, but it's enough that like, I'm like, you're straight up lazy if you don't do it.
Yeah, exactly. I think
like,
it's
come
like
on.
the bar to me is not very high.
No, we could definitely put more weight on that bar for them, and we might, but so they also get an allowance, but the allowance is given to them dependent on if their chores are done well.
Correct.
And attitude counts.
Yeah.
So if you're going to come home and do your like chore list, and you're going to whine and throw stuff around and be weird about it. Yeah.
Which they always live when they were younger. I feel like that really doesn't happen.
Younger or Wednesday. So like recent or yes, also. Yes, and it totally depends. So. Yeah, they're teenagers and they're just human, because I also get that way.
You do.
Yeah, thank you.
Man.
Call me out, please.
And when you were unloading the dishwasher the other night, man, you had such an attitude about you.
Do you know what I don't like about like emptying the dishwasher is the water on top of the cups. On top of the cups. What the heck?
Don't like it.
How did that happen? I thought we had like a heated dry part. It doesn't work. Anyway, that being said, there are times when I like spill the water because I'll be like trying to pull the cup out of the top and then the water spills and then it got on my toe and now I'm really mad. Yeah. So anyway, speaking of being like an adult child. Yeah, exactly. We all have our things. We're all human. There's just these dumb, things that we all go through, like frustrations and things that are annoying to us. But like being just aware that our kids are learning and getting, and it's new space for them.
Yep.
it's not necessarily a new space for us to be growing. And like, we've been on this earth longer than them, but it is a new space for them. So allowing them to experience and experiment in their independence.
Yeah.
And allowing that space for them to grow and learn from it. Because, self-actualization is like how we really learn. Like it's when we realize that we did something wrong and we have to course correct, or like not when necessarily someone tells us, but we actually understand the process and where the process didn't work.
Sure.
So just giving them that space, I think it allows for grace. It allows for a lot of prayer for us to make sure that like, we're constantly supporting them, at least to the best of our abilities, because it is new territory. I mean, Olivia is about to go off to college next year. So that's a whole other episode. And will be many episodes of that.
Probably.
There might be crying involved.
Sure.
For sure we'll miss her. And then our son is just the beginning, his high school experience. So he's kind of on the opposite end of that teenage spectrum.
Right.
So yeah.
And I feel like he's kind of like matured a bit slower than like our daughter did.
Sure.
In some ways. So like, now, so like as a boy, like realizing that a lot of times it's difficult just to sit down and have like a conversation and expect it to be like, just pour your heart out. What's going on?
Sure.
Like that is not. So like for me, like just having like I think, so I've been going to the gym with him.
Yeah. I've been joining you guys too.
Yeah. Finding like an activity, to do it. To do like with your son specifically.
Now he looks forward to it.
And he like looks forward to it,
which he didn't before.
Yeah, the beginning was like a struggle.
Oh, he did not like it. There was times
he would, and that was awesome too, because it also taught that like regardless of like what happened to you in one space doesn't have to affect like how you continue in the day.
Yeah, so he'd have a bad day.
It was a teaching moment. Yeah, for example.
He'd have a bad day at school and we'd pick him up and we're like, let's go to the gym. And he'd be like,
I don't want to.
It's like all the things, right? But then,
which we all, even as adults, there's plenty of times when we don't want to.
Oh, I do that too.
Sure.
Like I think this morning, both you and I were like, dragging ourselves to the gym. Like, okay, this is not going to feel good. And it
like
didn't.
Whatever, it could be whatever we go do.
Yeah, no matter what.
Yeah.
So anyway, he did learn that, and Chad's been taking to the gym. I've been joining them for recently, been actually all three of us working out. It's been a lot of fun to see him like get into it. And my favorite part, he might be embarrassed by this, is sometimes when he'll like, flex in the mirror.
He likes to flex.
He likes to flex in the mirror now. I love it.
Yeah.
And he's not to the point where he's taking like
he's
selfies.
Getting better, yeah.
No, he's actually getting strong. He is getting stronger for sure.
Yeah.
So
that's actually been like a really, really good thing. There's been like lots of like teachable moments, things that we can like correlate to.
Yep.
So and I think it's also just breeds like an environment where it's like, the guard is down. So like if he does want to speak about something, or because sometimes it's like he will converse about something briefly or touch on something. And then even like in the car ride, like it gives like a time to maybe like elaborate or have that conversation further. But he's like, I think it's just like a matter of being seen, being heard, and he feels like invested in.
Yeah, and he also has seen how strong we are in case he does mess up. He's like,
he
well,
does
Mom,
know that I can still lift more than he can, and I cannot lift a lot like I would want to, but I still have him beat.
Yeah, I definitely try and show off in front of him just so that I'm like, Kingston, don't mess with Mom.
But now it has me intimidated what I'm saying to you.
I know, right? Am I intimidating you now? No, it's been a lot of fun, that in particular. And so I think this last one, like how to release as they grow, we've touched on a little bit, but like that leans more towards Olivia.
Yeah. I think it's just giving them more responsibility and more, like we said, like more independence.
And more independence.
But go ahead. You can elaborate on Olivia.
Yeah. So like as she's preparing, like applying for colleges, like we're about to head to the States to visit a couple more universities. And as she's about to, she's applying and she's trying to get like definitely adult pants on now, where she's got to I need recommendations and I need to fill out applications and, essays and things like that. And even the idea of like, I need to get my license in the States and like transitioning internationally to a place that she's never really stayed for more than, I don't know how many months at a time, because we left when we moved to Central America when she was 4 or about to turn 4.
Yeah, 4 years old.
4 years old
when we arrived.
Yeah, when we arrived in there, and so basically she grew up in Central America.
Yeah.
And so for her to exit to this, to go to the States, it's going to be a new experience, and there's going to be a lot of. So this year's a little bit like she's preparing, but there's going to be a lot more opportunity for experimenting next year. What it's like for her to be independent without us, without mom and dad like around the corner, without even us in the States with her.
Sure, to help guide those.
Yeah. So Chad and I would say we're both in this space right now where we're looking to expand our heart and our space for her, because it's going to be certainly a different environment and a different space where she's going to be learning without us.
Yeah.
And so like this year means we are, wanting to impart wisdom and love and instill to her that like, she has all the resource she needs to do whatever she needs to do there, and will always be like a text, phone call, whatever away. And then we also have resources there in the States, people that she can get a hold of if she needs to. But I'd say the releasing as she grows, this is going to be a big one.
Yeah,
for us. And so we're going to be in that learning process, and we'll be able to fill you in on like the good, the bad.
Someone else can fill me in on like how do parent,
what do you do?
A college age kid or
how do you
an adult
live? Yeah, exactly.
But I do feel like, as our kids have gone old, and just so like obviously, if you know us, have listened to us a little bit briefly for our listeners, like obviously we're a family of faith.
Yeah.
But like when we poured into our kids, like when they were younger, we would do like little, like we read through the Bible, we would do night stories, that kind of thing. And even
really good rhythm
but we
with
never,
that.
But we never did like the sit down family devotional. That was never really us.
No, we didn't do that.
Times.
But we had a lot of other rhythms that were healthy.
But we definitely had rhythms that were like healthy.
And that were fun. I think that really fit our family. And one that I always remember and you've been always good at, in fact, to the point where we eventually had to be like, no more to the kids, was the like, we're going to sit with you right before, like we have really solid like good night and good morning routines.
Yeah.
So when they wake up, there's a lot of like, hey, how's it going? How'd you sleep? Hug, kid, like just allowing them to know that they're loved and they're seen. And then also at night, there's a lot of like, and up now it's a little different because there's a few things that have changed, but like up until recently, we would, make sure, good night, love you, say, give each other a hug, make sure that they're like getting their sleep.
Now we usually go to bed first.
Now we go to bed so early. We're the best. And I love it because I need some sleep. Yeah. But now Olivia has a boyfriend. This is a newer thing.
Not going to mention his name.
Not going to mention name, but he's the coolest. Yeah. And just so that everyone knows, like Olivia, like they talk at night, right? So they talk in the evening. And so that like we like to go in, and now Chad is super good at this. And this is the whole embarrassing part that could be, we could be playing into, but Chad loves to go into her room when they're like FaceTiming and like, yo, what's up? And like they talk and everything. And so we're highly involved as much as we can be, as much as we're allowed to be, because it's important to us that.
But still we do give space.
We give space. I mean, Olivia's up in her room, like doing homework. And then after dinner, we know that she's going to go talk to this person. And like we respect it. It's a chance for us to give her
respected space,
room to grow in that.
Although sometimes I just walk in and Olivia will definitely.
she should see her face.
Yes. Her face is priceless.
Walk in. Yeah.
Sometimes I just, usually I knock, give like a little knock before, but sometimes I just walk in.
Be like, hey, what's going on? What are you guys talking about?
Don't walk in like that.
Well, we love them. We're so grateful that God has placed them in our care, and we do as best as we can.
Sure.
And so that being said, I hope that this was like really helpful. Is there any last thoughts that you have, or any thoughts, Chad, about
thoughts? No.
Or anything. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'd be fun. So speaking of kids, just
speaking of kids.
So obviously, young humans called kids. And we also know like in the animal kingdom that we have goats. Goats are also called kids.
Wait.
Baby goats are called kids.
Oh, so we're naming
like
animals.
Baby cows or calves. Like we all know that. But like a couple unique ones that maybe like our listeners aren't aware of. And that
or I'm not.
Yeah, or maybe you're not aware of.
Probably.
Do you know what a baby platypus is called?
No, but I wonder what the teenage
it's actually very cute.
name is.
Puggle.
A puggle?
A puggle.
Oh, I really love that name.
Yeah, I thought that was really
That's
cute.
super cute.
Or a platypup.
A platypup.
But I think
I love that.
I like the puggle a lot better.
Puggle.
And then the other one that was like really weird that I didn't know, which I should know since I'm the bird guy, a baby pigeon.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not a chick.
What is it?
It is a squab or a squeaker.
Squeaker. Yes. Wait, how do we know when it's a squeaker though?
I don't know.
Isn't there like a way to know?
Yeah. But I don't think so.
Okay.
There isn't,
like,
there isn't a way, but it's just, is it a baby pigeon?
Oh, okay.
It's
So
just
baby.
A baby.
Like they're not flying.
A chick. Yes, a chick
Oh,
pigeon.
that's sweet.
But it's not a chick. It's called a squeaker.
Squeaker.
Or a squab.
A squab.
And the last one, which I did not know, a baby llama or alpaca
Okay.
is called a crya or a cria.
Cria.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I thought those were kind of fun. So speaking
I
of
love
kids,
that.
so-
What would be the teenage versions?
Yeah.
Do they have a name for the teenagers?
A hot mess? That's what all teenagers are called.
That's
a
messed
hot mess.
Oh man, if they could only rep themselves right now, they'd be like, "Wait a minute, you guys are the hot mess."
That's right.
We love them dearly, and it's a fun
We do.
space, and a lot of privilege in being involved in their lives.
Sure.
So
And I've got a feeling we'll probably come back to this topic at some point.
probably,
Yes. And maybe in the
Absolutely.
future we can even get one of them here to chat with us.
yes, I would love
and they
that.
can tell everyone what terrible parents we've been
Or how cool we are.
or how cool we are.
Yeah, one or the other. We'll find out. There might be a
Yes.
full mix of the spectrum there. Well, thank you so much for opening up around this space. We hope that it was really helpful for our listeners. I'm hoping. And again, if you want to support us in this space, we'd love to hear from you, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and I don't know, just overall like being a part of this podcast with us. Write us, let us know what you want to hear, what you want to hear us talk about, what advice you want to give us, and or you want us to talk about. Yeah, it's a no-cost way to support us in this space. And so we're just really grateful for you all and for listening and taking the time. And yeah.
And you can even comment if you're not a fan of Chad today.
Yeah, I know. Comment. Please let us know if you're not a fan of Chad. Please, full names. We'd love to know. We would definitely love to know. Thank you all again. And until next time on Fight Me.
Peace out.
Peace out.